What's up, pizza people? It's your boy Graham, also known as HAMHOCKS42 on the internet, and today we're looking at an Esper tempo list. This deck is actually one that I've concocted, built around Raffine Scheming Seer. Now, you'll note, most of the decks that we cover on this channel are based on tournament results, decks that have succeeded in other tournaments. Now, this deck has not had a chance to shine in a competitive sense yet. However, I gotta be honest, if I were to jump into a standard event today, this is the deck that I would bring. And I do believe that a deck like this, with a lot of these same pieces, if not this list as it is, could make it in a competitive environment. And as a result, I'd like to talk about it today, take a look at it, get some gameplay in with it, see what it can do. But it's built around Raffine Scheming Seer. No surprise, Raffine is good. The card is excellent. It does a lot of things. Now, Raffine is a 1/4 flyer for 3 with Ward 1 that says, whenever you attack, target attacking creature connives X, where X is the number of attacking creatures. So that's pretty rad for a number of reasons. It's going to smooth out our hand beautifully. It's going to pump up our team massively, really fast. And Raffine themselves does not even need to attack in order to trigger it. So if we have a creature down from turn 1 or 2, or something on both, we have an opportunity to be swinging with Raffine, or swinging with that creature the moment Raffine hits the battlefield on turn 3, and as a result, buff that creature up, smooth out our draws, etc. Like, yeah, Raffine is a phenomenal card, and it even has Ward 1. I'm granted, it's only Ward 1, but still, Raffine does protect itself in a way, like, and that's really, really valuable. Like, it's just good stuff. Aside from Raffine, what do we have? So we mentioned needing early threats, early creature threats. Well, we have Eye Twitch. Eye Twitch is an awesome little 1-drop, and it has evasion and flying. Now, it's only a 1/1, so you can't really get a lot with that unless it becomes a 2/2 on turn 3, and then a 4/4 on turn 4, or what, you know, it's going to grow the moment you start conniving, and that's going to be huge. So as a result, Eye Twitch can actually it can become a beater in the late game, and your opponent doesn't really want to kill it because it has that death trigger where you learn. And we do have a lesson package in the sideboard designed to help with that. Environmental Sciences, Teaching the Archaics, Expanded Anatomy, which is actually quite good in this list specifically, since we do want to have threats that we're attacking with evasion. So that's pretty good. And then we also have Mascot Exhibition. If it's a late game and say our opponent was successful in hitting us with a sweeper, Mascot Exhibition is a board in a box. You know, it's just good for that. So that's Eye Twitch. We also have Delver of Secrets. Now, I know what you're saying. This is a standard deck. Why the heck is Delver in here? The truth of the matter is, Delver is a staple in older formats. It's a staple in Modern. It's a staple in Legacy. And the spell packages around Delver of Secrets in those formats are excellent. So I've heard a lot of people say Delver isn't good in Standard. And I gotta say, I disagree with that. The truth of the matter is, Delver is a very good card. A good Delver deck does not currently exist in Standard. That's true, I will give you that. And if you compare Standard attempts at Delver compared to like Legacy Delver, yes, of course, the Legacy deck is going to be stronger. Because fun fact, every single card that's available in the Standard deck is available in the Legacy deck. So, you know, and you have significantly more than that. So yes, Legacy or Modern Delver is going to be significantly stronger than any Standard Delver. That's just the nature of the beast. However, the competition that we're going up against in Standard is going to be a lot easier to deal with than the competition we'd go up against in, say, Legacy. So I think Delver still has a place. The truth of the matter is, I've been experimenting with this deck quite a bit and coming up with a number of different builds of it. And the moment Delver got added, my win rate increased dramatically. The moment that I started playing with Delver, things started going my way more frequently. Because imagine this: you have a Delver on turn 1, so you play out Delver on turn 1. It's just chilling as a little 1/1. On turn 2, whether you flip it or not, you know, you can play out another land and hold up like Make Disappear or Tainted Indulgence or Jawari Disruption, all cards that we have that are designed to throw our opponent off tempo, hence the name Tempo deck. So we hold up a counter spell on turn 2. Great, we love that. And then on turn 3, if we flipped by then, we can jam Raffine and start swinging with a 3/2 that connives on turn 3. So all of a sudden we're getting in for 4 flying damage on turn 3. So that's kind of the dream. But the deck is very capable of doing that. And if we're on the play, get out of here. Like, the chance of our opponent having removal that can deal with this, very low. Like, they have to hit Delver of Secrets pretty much right away, or they're going to be in rough shape. You know, assuming we can get it flipped. I have, with this deck, sat on a Delver of Secrets for 5 turns, and the sucker never flipped. It does happen, it does suck, but all the same, like, the card is very strong. It's just a good tempo card, and this is a tempo deck, so it fits. We also have Slip Out the Back. This is an instant for 1 blue. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, it phases out. So if our opponent attempts to get rid of our Delver early, we can say, nope, don't touch that. If our opponent attempts to get rid of our Rafine later in the game with, say, a Demon Bolt or an Infernal Grasp, we can just say no. Although, note, if your opponent is trying to kill a Rafine, and you have a Slip Out the Back in hand, let them pay the ward first. They have to pay that ward, otherwise the spell gets countered. You will get priority after they pay the ward, and then you hit Slip Out the Back. That's going to just throw them off a little bit more. It's great. But yeah, Slip Out the Back helps protect our Delver Secrets, even our Eye Twitches, if we put enough counters on them through Connive. Now, Eye Twitch can be really valuable as well, or Rafine. But aside from those 3 creatures, so those 3 unique creatures represent 12 creature cards in the deck. They are the only creatures we have. Almost the entire rest of the deck is made up of instants and sorceries to help flip our Delver, with one exception, and that is Meathook Massacre. Meathook Massacre is in here as a 2-of, specifically because there are a lot of aggro decks running around out there. And Meathook is just a good answer to those decks. Also, with our team growing the way that it does, we can be selective about how we hit the Meathook, and as a result, save our team or a portion of our team while ending theirs. Rafine also having 4 toughness plus the ability to connive means that Rafine's toughness can be 6 or 7 very easily, pretty darn quick in the game. So a Meathook Massacre on 4 or 3 can completely eradicate our opponent's board and keep our Rafine and potentially our Delver around. So that's really cool. So that's why Meathook's in here. It's only a 2-of because that matchup is something that we don't necessarily see all the time. And it's just, you know, it's selective. If we go up against Mono White, Meathook's great. Although Mono White has kind of fallen out of favor as of late. So if there's one card that I would consider changing in this list right now, always be willing to innovate and rewrite or, you know, tinker with your decks. But Meathook is one of those that I think it's just an incredibly strong card, and if you're running black, you should probably have it. It's really the name of the game there. It's the bottom line. All right, we also have Tainted Indulgence. This for 2 mana is going to draw us a card and then discard a card, or if there are 5 or more mana values among cards in your graveyard, you just draw 2. Now, we do have access to potentially 5 mana values, but that's never gonna, like, it's not likely to happen. Cool thing though, we can discard land to Tainted Indulgence and we don't care. So, you know, that there's no impact on it. Whereas if we discard land to the Connive ability that Rafine is rocking, then we don't get the +1/+1 counter bonus. So we do want to be discarding lands to Tainted Indulgence most of the time, but it just helps us smooth out our hand. It's incredibly powerful, and it's an instant that can help flip our Delver. You love to see it. I already mentioned the counter spells, Make Disappear and Jwari Disruption. Fantastic. Make Disappear is also a phenomenal counter to Ob Nixilis on 3. If we hit an Eye Twitch and our opponent attempts to casualty cast Ob Nixilis on 3, we can actually sacrifice our Eye Twitch, Make Disappear, and counter both copies. It just shuts their game plan down completely. It's pretty great. And if nothing else, it's just a quench. 2 mana counter unless they pay 2. That disrupts a lot. Even into the mid game, you can hit a lot of stuff with Make Disappear. So I love it. So I actually really enjoy that. So yeah, Make Disappear is fantastic in that regard. Other key spells, we do have Depopulate in here. I just want to touch on this real quick. It is similar to Meathook Massacre in that we want to hit it when our opponent's board has gotten out of control. Depopulate is a 3-of in here because there are a number of decks out there that are running cards that are bigger than they have been in the past, where Meathook Massacre may not hit them, Depopulate can, and that's very, very useful. Now, Depopulate does not get around shield counters, unfortunately, so that's a thing. If our opponent does have, say, a Titan of Industry with a shield counter on it, we want to shut that down. You know, Depopulate isn't quite going to get there, unfortunately, but it's... That said, there are a number of sizable creatures in the format, you know, your Shakedown Heavies, your Reservoir Krakens, that might be tough to hit with the Meathook Massacre and keep our team around. Depopulate just wipes them out. And sometimes you just need to press the reset button. That happens. You know, especially with the Alliance cards out there, Scoot Swarm is kind of making a comeback. And if we don't have a way to deal with the Scoots early, being able to deal with them late is really important. So Depopulate's good for that. Let's see, we also have Obscura Charm. Obscura Charm feels like a cheat code in this deck. It is so strong, and it has so many modes that are available to it. It is incredibly powerful. 1, destroy target creature or planeswalker with mana value 3 or less. That destroys Ob Nixilis. That destroys Kaito. That destroys any token creature just about that's out there. And it, like most of the creatures in the mono white deck, it kills Brutal Cathars. It kills Skyclave Apparitions. It kills all of these things. and only for, you know, for 3 mana. Just boom, get them out of the way. So we can do that. We can counter target instant or sorcery spell. If our opponent's trying to wipe our board, or trying to go after something of ours, we can just shut that down, just counter that immediately, which is nice. That's really great. Or we can return target multicolored permanent card with mana value 3 or less from our graveyard to the battlefield tapped. There's only one card in our deck that is an eligible target for that, and that is Rafine. If Rafine is in our graveyard, guess what? Yeah, we want Rafine back on the board. Obscura Charm can do that at instant speed. So our opponent can feel like, oh, we've gotten things taken care of. Things are under control. The board has been stabilized. Maybe they just did a wipe. Maybe they were able to do some shenanigans and get rid of Rafine with a kill spell or something like that. Or maybe even just a combat trick. Then it's like, okay, fair enough. You got me. Just kidding. Obscura Charm. Rafine's back. Guess what? Oh, now I'll untap and take my turn. Thank you. Yeah, it feels really good. Obscura Charm is very useful for a number of different reasons. It's just really strong. And then we also have Void Rend. Void Rend can't be countered. It says destroy target non-land thing. Just destroy any non-land permanent. This is a very simple, very straightforward card, and it's just good. It does exactly what we want. 3 mana, kill a thing. Boom. There are a lot of things that need to get killed in Standard these days. Void Rend can hit all of them. It's great. Now, it is a destroy effect. It is not not an exile effect, which is a little bit of a bummer, which is why you'll notice actually in our sideboard, we have Vanishing Verses. We have Vanishing Verses in the sideboard because if we're going up against a mono deck, Vanishing Verse is strictly better than Void Rend, so we can pull it in, which is pretty darn useful. In the sideboard, we also have Farewell to deal with those pesky Anvil decks. Being able to exile all the artifacts is very, very useful. We have Hullbreaker Horror for the mirror, and we have a couple of Doom Scars, which, to be honest, are in here, again, specifically if we're going up against aggro like crazy, we can run more board wipes, because they can be very, very important. Also, against, like, the Naya Runes list, we just need to disrupt their board over and over and over again, and so cards like Doom Scar can help us get there. So, yeah, so that's the deck, that's the thought. You'll also notice in our mana base, we have 1 Hive of the Eye Tyrant, 1 Hall of Storm Giants. The goal of those is to end the game if it goes too long, per usual man land scenario, you know, usual or creature land, I should say. They're good for dealing with that. Also, fun fact, they come into play untapped on turns 1 and 2. That is very, very, very important. You'll notice our curve is low. Our curve is low, and we have a lot of 1 and 2 drops that we want to be hitting on curve. So those being able to enter the battlefield untapped during those turns is very important. You'll also notice we have pathways. You'll notice we do not have the slow lands. That is very intentional. We do not have the slow lands in here because if we had too many cards, too many lands that entered the battlefield tapped in the early game, we would often find ourselves stuck without the ability to cast our spells in the early game. And again, we need to be sticking threats and holding up counter spells as fast as humanly possible. You know, we need to be hitting those Jawari disruptions or make disappears in meaningful ways. We need to be stopping the anvils from dropping. We need to be stopping Kaito from dropping. We need to be stopping, you know, these 2 and 3 drops that are, you know, like really powerful in the format with those counter spells. And the only way to do that is to make sure that we have untapped mana on turn 2, and so that's why we are running the pathways, not the chill lands. Now we do have 4 Rafine's Tower in here because we are juggling 3 colors after all, and so if we have a Rafine's Tower in the opening hand, I'm not mad. But the nice thing is the chances of us having, well, with the way it's set up, if we have Rafine's Tower in the opening hand and we have other lands, unless there's just multiple copies of Rafine's Tower, the other land will be able to enter the battlefield untapped on 2. That's very important. So that's why we've designed the mana base that way. So here's the deck. Let's run it out into the ladder. I'm going to be playing best of 1 games just for the video, just so that the video is not like 2 hours long, just to keep things relatively concise. So we're going to be running some best of 1 games. If you want to see the deck in action, the main deck in action anyway, we're going to be doing that. And yeah, thank you for checking out the video. We appreciate it. Also, please check out the PizzaBox MTG tournament schedule over on mtgmelee. We run 3 tournaments a month. They are free to enter with cash prizes. There are very few places where you can say that, but we are, you know, we're one of those teams. We do that. And we are available, or our tournaments are on Sunday in the midday. So Sundays is where it's at over at PizzaBox, or over at the PizzaBox MTG on well, YouTube here, obviously, or the MTG Melee link. And you can find us on Twitch, twitch.tv/HollywoodPizza. Please drop a follow over there, and please like and subscribe to this channel. It would mean the world. Thank you so much. Let's get to the gameplay. See, I twitched in the opening hand alongside a Tainted Indulgence and the ability to cast both while keeping a Make Disappear up. This looks like a snap keep. Let's go. Neverwinter Dryad. Okay, they're doing some landfall shenanigans. This is an iTwitch on 1. Next turn, we're going to hold up Make Disappear as well as Tainted Indulgence. So whichever one is appropriate is what we'll do. Shijeki. Okay. They're definitely getting their landfall on. Oh, you know what? I was going to put the Henge pathway down as the, well, the Mistgate pathway down. But the Hall of Storm Giant is just better. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I think I'm going to hold Twitchy back. Could crash in for a little bit of damage, but I want to keep that Neverwinter Dryad in check so that they don't attack us. And now we've got the Make Disappear up, and we can casualty it, which is nice. They're going to Shijek right out the gate. All right, fair enough. Showing a Workshop, Warchief, and Old Growth Troll. All going to the bin. All right. They got some good stuff going on in there. And they got a fresh land. All right, they're going to the end step. We're going to Tainted Indulgence. And let that pathway go. I think I'm going to go aggressive here and go Rafine and swing with the iTwitch. This is a little dangerous, but I like living dangerously. What can I say? I'm going to let the Juari Disruption go because they have ramped pretty well, and the chances of us being able to hit them with a counterspell where they don't have 1 mana lying around, not likely. We got the double towers, which is fine, but the other nice thing, Juari Disruption, it's a land. Oh, no! All right, I got punished for going aggro. A Make Disappear for that would have been really nice. Oh well. Because we can hit it with Void Rend, which we will do. Yeah, we can hit the chariot with Void Rend, but the kitty cats are here no matter what. Truly unfortunate. Oh well. Alright, so we're going to attack with both of these. I'm going to let Rafine scheme this time, or connive. Delver, what up, dog? Happy to see you. Discard Rafine, and the Make Disappear might be useless at this point. But I'm not so sure. We definitely need to keep up Void Rend and the Obscura Charm. I'm just going to the land. So we only get 1+1/+1 counter, which is mildly unfortunate, but not the end of the world. Now, we're also going to be holding up all this jazz, so we're not going to be playing out the Delver right now. But we got the beats. Got the beat. Now, you may wonder, why didn't I just blow up the Seeker's Chariot that turn? Because I want to wait and have them crew it first. I want them to take 4 power off the board first and then blow it up. That's the plan. And they're going to. And you know what? Void Rend can hit. It doesn't have to hit creatures, so I can Void Rend right now. Let's blow up that Chariot before it's an opportunity to crew. They're going to be able to attack us with the Dryad. Now, they're probably going to play out something. Exactly what? I don't know. Froghemoth. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, almost definitely do. Alright. And to Make Disappear would have stopped that nicely. Bummer, yo. Yeah, now we're at a point where I don't know that we can win this race, but we're going to try. Got some twitchy eyes. I like eye twitch. Let's get the Delver going. Our opponent has 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage on the board. Cracking back. Don't love that. Let's let Rafine scheme or connive one more time. Ooh, I'm going to let one Obscura Charm and... I'm going to let the... I should do that both Obscura Charms go here. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna let both Obscura Charms go. This is dangerous. We're living dangerously, but here's the thing. We need to survive 1 turn from our opponent, and we need to kill them on the backswing. With Rafine's Connive ability, that might be possible. We have the Make Disappear in case they drop another frog, and we have Slip Out the Back in case they do some kind of Blizzard Brawl shenanigans. And we have 4, 5, 6, 7 damage in the air, plus the Connive. That's assuming Delver doesn't flip, which hopefully Delver will. And again, and now they've got 9 damage on the board. OGT? We can counter that, but you know what? I'm going to let it resolve. Because if they have a Blizzard Brawl, we need Slip out the back. Or make Disappear for that, frankly. Yeah, they jam with everybody. 7, 8, 9. We take it to the face. The frog's gonna exile our graveyard. Kinda don't care. Because what I'm gonna do here is I'm actually going to... Well, that's fine. They gain a little bit of life, which I don't like. We'll flip the Delver. That's exactly what we needed. Let's go! Our Tiny Eye Twitch be the Conniver. Ding, ding, ding. Oh, we only need some... no, we have to discard 3. Yeah. Got him! Yes! That's how this deck's supposed to work. That was exactly what we needed. Lined it up perfectly. Life is good. All right. Let's move on to the next game. We got 3 lands and a Delver in the opening hand, plus the ability to play it and the ability to hit, depopulate later if things go sideways. This looks pretty sweet. Let's do this. So we're going to be able to throw the... So here comes the big question is, how do we sequence the lands? Because if we play Rafine's Tower out on 2... Delver does not get to flip. That's unfortunate. If we play out the lands, or if we play out Rafine's Tower, we don't have anything available on turn 2. Meanwhile, we're going to be able to have Void Rend up on 3, which is nice. I think what we do... That meetup changes things a little bit. I was going to put this down as white to make sure we have the depopulate later, but I think I'm going to go black here. Because we already have blue down, we have Make Disappear up. So if they try to kill our Delver or try to establish a board presence that doesn't, you know, that I don't approve of, we can hit Make Disappear. What was that about them trying to touch my Delver? No, no. No. No touchy. I'll reveal that all day. Let's flip. But now we got 2 Void Rends and the inability to cast either, which is kind of a bummer. We can also Meat Hook on 1 here, which is nice. If they can hit like an Elite Spellbinder or something, but dang it. All right, they have the Dragon's Fire. That's no good. No bueno. All right, now we need another threat. Hive the Eye Tyrant can get us there and if need be as well. Galazeth, what up, dog? Before you get that treasure, I'm just going to blow you up. Sorry, dude. All right. We got the Twitchy Eyes and Void Rend up. This'll do. This'll do. Hopefully we draw into a Rafine soon. That would be nice. They just foretold a Doom Scars. It looks like. We'll see. It's going to be a white mana. There. Now we have Depopulate access up. Now, do we activate the Hive of the Eye Tyrant and get in for additional damage? Or do we hold... Actually, you know what? That's exactly what we do. We get in for more damage here. And we get to hit on the graveyard. Oh, it's Behold. Interesting. Okay. Alright, I was mistaken. They had foretold the Behold. Not our Doomscar. But we activate the Hive. Swing in for 4. Hit on their yard a little bit. Get Galzeth out of here, just in case. They have like an Invoke Justice or something. It's not likely, but you never know. Goldilocks, the Goldspan Dragon. That card does not suck. It would be nice if that card sucked. Alas, it does not. All right, so we have a couple options here. We can Void Rend Goldilocks, which targets it and gives them another treasure, which I don't love. The other thing we can do there, we don't have access to the Meat Hook here. We can have Meat Hook for 3. It's not enough. Or we can Depopulate. I think that's really what we need to do here. So let's chip in for 1 damage first. Doink. Let's just get Goldspan out of here. Now, if they may have a counter for this, which if they do, we just Void Rend it next turn. And, you know, if we're pulling... And if they do... I mean, they have 4 mana available because of Goldspan's doubling action. They're going for the Behold the Multiverse, but now they're out of treasures. Yeah! I love it when my opponent has I love it when we answer a Goldspan Dragon and our opponent runs out of treasures. Feels so good. How many cards does our opponent have? Yeah, so Teaching the Archaics is probably not going to come through here. I'm gonna be honest, actually, in this deck, that card's probably not great. I'm gonna grab we can grab the Mascot Exhibition as a plan for later, or I'll grab Annihilation. You can never have too much removal. In the current meta, you either have to go all in on threats or all in on removal. Or at least that's how it feels. I know that's not accurate. I know mid-range decks that do both are very popular right now. Invoke Justice! Holy crap, I freaking called it! Alright. I wasn't really expecting it, but there it is. Wow, okay. Okay. Well, we need to kill that. We have the Intro to Annihilation. They'll draw a card. We can also Void Rend it. They just get the treasure, but I'm going to use Intro here. It's more mana efficient. And it exiles. I like that. I like exiling. Freaking Invoke Justice on a Goldspan Dragon. No! Oh, that hurt. That was so much damage to the face. I mean, that card's really sweet. Don't get me wrong. It's awesome. Like, if you're out there running it right now, good for you. Mad respect. Let's try to stick Rafine. They have all the mana in the world, so that Jawari Disruption is not countering anything. So we'll just drop it. All right, we got shields down right now. We don't have anything up. So if our opponent has a kill spell for Rafine, that's it. But we can Obscura Charm next, or bounce. That's fine. All right, throw us off our tempo a little bit. Not the end of the world. We'll be fine. Next turn, because we played out the Jawari Ruins, we will have access to Rafine plus an Obscura Charm and or Void Rend. So that's nice. Okay, more land. I'm not mad at that. All of a sudden, it makes that meat hook potentially viable later, which is nice. All right, we got some goodies up. All right, and next turn, Morty K. That's an issue. And I can't counter it. And they make the dog. They go to the dog, make the dog immediately. Well, that's important because I'm gonna kill Mordenkainen. Homie cannot be allowed to stand. That's a big old doggo. Big pupper. Now, if they burn another spell to kill our Rafine, which it looks like, or they do this. Wow, okay, was not ready for that. Yeah, I was way not ready for that. Alright. Fair play, opponent. We gotta kill that homie just right out the gate. No, do not pass go, do not collect $200. That thing cannot survive. And Morty's got an ult, but it's at 10. So I think we go face here, and I don't feel good about it. Delver, what up, homie? All right, I'm going to let Meat Hook go because the chance of it being relevant in this matchup. Our opponent's playing really big stuff. So I'm not confident it's going to come home. We got Delver. Now, because of the way the mana tapped out there, just by virtue of how things have tapped, we do not have the Obscura Charm up. Now, I'm not exactly sure if we could have Farewell Fart. That's not good. And the fact that they hit our graveyard, too, means we can't reanimate a Rafine. That actually really blows. And that's another Behold the Multiverse in all likelihood. I think we lose this. Yeah, this is not looking good. Ching ching. Yeah, down taking Morty K while holding up the Obscura Charm. Now, yeah. You're gonna draw some cards, sure. They don't have the win just yet, but they are damn close. All right. Yeah, that dog's not surviving long enough to connect with our face. The amount of cards our opponent has drawn here is kind of ridiculous. Now, that said, they may have a counter. Just because we haven't seen any counter spells yet from our opponent doesn't mean they don't have them in the deck. Because they are running Jeskai after all. They have the Field of Ruin that they can deal with their Hive. That's a bummer. That's the only thing we freaking had, man. That's all we had. Alright. And they got a Goldspan Dragon. I think this is probably... Yeah, no. And we just draw land. Yeah, we're dead. Like, maybe not this turn, but yeah. But... Harbinger? What? So these are just Jeskai good cards, it looks like. Like, big, dumb cards. But at the same time, they're clearly working. Because this deck, our tempo deck is designed more to deal with little threats that our opponent is able to mobilize against us. Whereas this, our opponent is hitting us with big things that we just don't have answers for. So, alright, fair enough. Fair enough, opponent. We ran out of gas, they answered us well, and here we are. It's all good. That was a fun game, though. It was neat. It was cool. Valkyrie, Harbinger, Goldspan Dragon, and Mordenkainen all on the field at the same time. Did not expect to see that today. I see 3 mana. 2 depopulates and a Rafine. Let's go. You know, the only thing that would make this hand better is if we had a Delver or a... like a Delver or... One turn too late, but that's cool. I appreciate the effort, buddy. I'm going to stick the Delver. Delver or Night Twitch. You know, and a Delver or Night Twitch on one would have been, like, cash money. Instead, it's just, like, acceptable. Yeah, more land, that's fine. We can take it. It's not quite what I was hoping for, but that's fine. Rafine. Scheming Seer. Delver gets to connive. Let's go. I'm going to discard one of these depopulates. We probably aren't going to need 2. And our opponent's on Rakdos. They're on Rakdos and they didn't hit the anvil on 2, so that's nice. I like that. Just kidding, they're on Grixis. Grixis is actually in an interesting spot right now. With the addition of the Maestro's cards from Streets of New Capenna, they're interestingly positioned. Yeah, Prismari Command taking out the Delver is very smart there. Very smart. I'm not even mad. Alright. Rafine, coming through. Stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and discard the land here because frankly everything else is really handy. Do we need 2 Tainted Indulgences? Nah. But do I want them? Yes. So we're keeping them. With our mana we won't be able to play both of them next turn, but that's okay. Definitely hit one of them. Holy depopulates. Well, apparently our deck really wants us to have access to a depopulate this game. Alright, that's going to be a black mana source. Alright, opponent, what you sitting on? I saw priority. I saw priority being held. That makes me nervous. Ooh, Void Rend, let's go. I'm actually gonna, okay, I'm gonna let the Tainted Indulgence go now. I'm gonna let it go now. Should I have done that earlier? Maybe, but like it's all good. Because this next turn we could actually Void Rend and make disappear. That's a beautiful place to be while the Rafine is just beating face. I'm a fan. I'm a big old fan. So now if they try to play Goldspan Dragon, we hit it with a Make Disappear. They try to hit a Blood on the Snow, we hit it with a Jawari Disruption. That felt really good, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna let this depopulate go. I don't know that that depopulate is gonna be particularly valuable, so we can say a fond farewell. Now, they do have creature lands here, so they could be activating the Den of the Bugbear or the Hive of the Eye Tyrant start swinging back, but that is a race we win, so that's nice. Abi Nix. That's fine. And they're going to create the Devil. Okay. I'm debating on whether or not we just Void Rend Ob here, or if we swing into him. If we swing into him, that's damage that's not going directly into our opponent's face, and I don't like that. So I think I'd rather do this. Just got the land. We don't get to buff up, but I think having the counters is more important here. And being able to hit 2 of them without having to sacrifice Rafine is valuable. And we also tipped our hand a little bit. Yeah, we tipped our hand a little bit that we had counters up by discarding the land there, I think. But our opponent went for it, so. Cast out the Hall. Delver, I love you, buddy. I think you're a little late to the party. Yeah, we've got lethal next turn. As long as we have a non-land card to discard. Lolth, the Spider Queen, again, tapping down to 2. Oh, I am really glad we hung on to those make disappear. So that was clutch. Yeah. Good game, opponent. Good game. All right. So we stuck a threat. We prevented our opponent from getting their game plan online, and we just beat them down with that threat. Perfect. That was textbook. Exactly what this deck wants to do. So thank you so much for hanging out and checking out this gameplay. Appreciate it. Like I said previously, PizzaBox MTG on mtgmelee and YouTube. Please check us out. We'd appreciate that very, very much. And you can find us on Sundays over at Hollywood Pizza's Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Hollywood Pizza, where we do coverage for tournaments thrice monthly. We'd love to see you out there. And if you wanted to throw your hat into those tournaments, they are free to enter. So feel free. We have a lot of great gameplay. They're competitive while still having a fun atmosphere. So we'd love to see you out there. So thank you so much. Have a phenomenal day, and we'll catch you on the next one.